go, here we go, here we go, here we go. It's markets in the morning. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the blockchain backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Welcome to Markets in the Morning. Today is Wednesday, August 16th, 2023. It's Markets in the Morning, where we take a look at the price action of the cryptocurrency market, the stock market, metals, Bitcoin, XRP, altcoin market, news, whatever it is that's exciting to talk about today. There's nothing really exciting to talk about today. Just kidding. I have a hunch that we will have some viewership today. There's been some price action over there in crypto with XRP and really a lot of the altcoin market. So we'll be taking a look at a lot of this stuff this morning. I have already started recording a video pertaining to XRP. I was hoping to get that done before we could go live, but not even close. So the second we're done with the live stream, I'll get back to working on that. But it is Wednesday. Regardless of what's going on with price action in the markets, we always have a good time on Wednesdays. So happy Wednesday. We're halfway through the week.
It is Wednesday, my dude. It is Wednesday, my dudes.
All right, enough with that goofy stuff. Enough with that. It's time to get this show going right now. All right, so here we go. Wednesday, August 16th, 2023. Bitcoin sitting at $29,074. So we had a little bit of a shuffle down happen in Bitcoin yesterday. I'm sure everybody caught that because you saw a lot of the crypto market shuffle down at the exact same time. More dramatic than Bitcoin, right? One thing that we all saw was XRP getting down and hitting 58 cents in that move yesterday. So I posted over there on Twitter. I've been talking about it here on the live streams nonstop. So you guys who tune in here to Markets in the Morning, you already knew this very well. That the plan here was to get 20% of my Bitcoin over there into XRP. That has now been executed. So we have now hit 58 cents over here on XRP, getting back to some support levels. Now it's the big question. Do we have support here? Will we hold? We do have the 200-week moving average. Finally, we've come back in for the test of it right there. We, of course, will be diving all into all of this stuff there in the video that I will be putting out today. But it finally has come back to hit that at the exact same time while we've come back and hit 58 cents. So exciting time in here. Of course, we'll dive into the structure of everything going on in here. We talk about it here, Markets in the Morning, all the time. Crashing structure was a thing that we were looking for too. The only thing was, this thing has popped up a little bit higher than they typically do, hasn't it? Boom. There we go, guys. So we'll dive into all of that. But for you guys who've been following Markets in the Morning, there we go. That should be numero 7. That should be number 7 happening right there. How about that Spanish? So, all right, good deal, guys. So now the big moment here, waiting on that to continue playing out. My thoughts are even if this is the low, which my hopes and beliefs are that we are in it, that still there's probably time that gets spent down here. So if you're looking for instant moonshot coming next, we've talked all about this. We've talked about contracting triangles. We've talked about ABC. Could be here a while, and we could stay down here for just a minute. So my thoughts are not predicting time that this thing's about to shoot straight up to the moon. That we're going to start finding a low and holding a low in here. Sometimes, right? You come in here and boom, you shoot down to the lows, and then you spend a little time in here. This is a little excessive, but more along the lines of like when you get them like this, right? So does this look familiar? Right, very similar to what we just saw happening in here. It's been teetering here for like 2 weeks, right? And then that, just because we come down and you get it, it does not mean you moonshot just yet. There's still hovering that has to happen down in here during these phases. And my thoughts are just that. So there you have it. All right, XRP, there you go. You got the hit. XRP over Bitcoin, you got the 200-week moving average hit. One of the other things we've talked about with XRP, we've been talking about with measuring the altcoin market versus XRP. We all know it broke the 200-week moving average for the first time in history, which means that the altcoin market is weaker than XRP is. We've talked about like bubble structure. We've talked about it needing to come back to probably hit that 200-week moving average. Whether it does, whether it doesn't, right? This is our first time to deal with it, to know if it will have to come back and hit it. So I've brought up bubble structures that we've talked about before. You know, whenever you have these, what do you typically do after the first initial pop happens? You go back to a 702 retracement. You go back to a 702 retracement as so. Then you get the next real breakdown, right? And so that's what we're at right now, would be on something like right in here, right? And so then you have a throwback that ends up happening in here, and a throwback. Now, does that have to go to the 200-week moving average, or I'll show you this? Or are we just coming down to really test like this previous support, right? And that would be this whole area all throughout here. So we've already gotten there. Is that good enough? Maybe. So I've taken the shot and went for it. Don't follow me blindly, but I always share with you guys if I make like a dramatic move, especially when it pertains to XRP or if it pertains to Bitcoin. I don't play the whole hedge game where I'm never sharing what I do. You guys always know, so that way you always know when I win and you always know when I lose, right? There's usually no net benefit to that though, because the only thing that happens is the losers out there will pick the ones that you've missed on and hold that against you for years. But either way, that's how you get to this size, right? You be transparent. So that's where I'm at. I've made my move. 20% of my Bitcoin has been sold into XRP. Let's go. Looking over here at Ethereum, I pointed this one yesterday. Yesterday over there on Twitter, Ethereum had a similar thing, broke. Here you go. That move that happened yesterday, the dramatic move that happened in the market yesterday, was potentially a throwback. So keep an eye over there. I also mentioned over there on Twitter that after I had done that with Bitcoin, that is considering it with Ethereum, I've presented, my more bullish case I have for Ethereum. It's definitely a lot harder for me to let go of any Ethereum to swap it into XRP. But when you look at just large indicators of Ethereum versus XRP, there's nothing bullish in here about Ethereum versus XRP, which would mean that XRP is stronger than Ethereum. We've talked about Ethereum looking good versus the US dollar, and you could tell how many people think with their emotions when you get responses to tweets like that, where you say that the underlying indicators for Ethereum are in turmoil versus XRP. People say, well, wait a minute, we've seen things of like super cycles. Are you saying that's not going to happen? It's like you're not reading. You've put your blinders on and you're not listening. You're reading, but it's not comprehending in your head. This is versus XRP. XRP is showing more strength in the indicators when we're measuring Ethereum USD versus XRP USD. You can see it clear as day in here. Monthly indicators have rolled over. There's no sign of them turning back up for Ethereum versus XRP. So we'll see if this is the same case here. Just a throwback happening in here for Ethereum versus XRP. Pretty pivotal moment that happened during that moment yesterday as XRP went and hit 58 cents and the 200-week moving average. As for the stock market, hey, wow, that's a nice little whip back to the upside now that the market has actually opened. It actually was opening down. We must have some economic data or something that happened upon opening. Look at the Dow. It's up 141 points. You got the NASDAQ down 5. You got the S&P up 7. What a whipsaw happening over there. You got Coinbase in the green. So Coinbase news, we'll get into news later. Coinbase announced that they're going to have futures trading for Ethereum and for Bitcoin. I don't think I saw a date on when that's going to happen. But interesting that we're going to have futures available when it just is the inevitable delay of the ETF. And I try to continue sharing with you guys, having been here so long. The ETF carrot typically gets dangled and dangled and dangled, and it has since I've been here, which is about 6.5 years that I've been in crypto. The ETF carrot gets dangled, and it's very there's no other way to make yourself look like, just a little tip, guys, for the guys on Twitter. There's no other way to make yourself look more green behind the ears or brand new to crypto to comment and have your argument be, we're going to go up because an ETF is going to get approved, or you don't know anything because an ETF is going to get approved. You are showing how green you are. 6.5 years in this market, the ETF carrot is always dangled. But are we going to have futures coming right now? And if you guys don't remember this, and I'm not predicting it, I'm just saying, because a lot of you guys weren't here during that time. When the peak of crypto happened in 2017, it happened with Bitcoin futures. I believe the CME futures. It seems like you're going to have the ability to be able to short Bitcoin and short Ethereum over there on Coinbase pretty soon. So we'll see what more information comes out about that. I was just able to catch that briefly in the news this morning while I've been recording stuff for an XRP video. And throughout the rest of the day, I'll try to find more information out on that and be able to report that a little bit better to you tomorrow. But that we will see that in the news today. As for gold, the pullback happening all week long, really for all month long. Still nothing really new to say about that. DXY, US dollar currency index, like we've talked about this week, it's gotten back up to its first resistance level. That was the most recent high before it did go for the plunge. It's been holding here. Nothing new to say about this over the last 3 days. Still just a wait and see, and if it's going to break through that resistance level right in there. Otherwise, looking at Bitcoin, got you there at $29,067. XRP at 59 cents. XRP versus Bitcoin right on top of the 200-week moving average. And then, like we've talked, did I lose that? I lost it, didn't I? Ah, there we go. We've talked about the measuring the altcoin market versus XRP. We talked about it clear as day in here. The move back up coming in here, what that would be like. Would it be the move to 58 cents? What would it be? But that it was likely that this would be the thing that would end up occurring. Here we go. We're in there. So I've taken the stab. I've gone ahead and rotated 20% of my Bitcoin over there into XRP. The thing that for the XRP versus Bitcoin trade, we can talk about this. Like, where would this thing suddenly, not be looking so hot anymore, right? Where would invalidations be when it came to XRP versus Bitcoin? Because this is not me bringing fresh US dollars into the market. This is me rotating Bitcoin into XRP, right? So we have our support level. This is our big breakout level happening in here. We can look at how the 200-week moving average has been treated. So if the 200-week moving average is one of the justifications for it being used, then there has to be respect for the 200-week moving average. Otherwise, we're just arbitrarily picking a moving average and praying with our fingers crossed that it does end up being something. This one has shown reactions throughout history. So when the previous reactions have happened, let's take a look at how deep we could go underneath the 200-week moving average and things still be okay. In this example here, we go down about 2.67%. And this one right here, we go down about 2.77%. I wouldn't count this one because, well, let's just say this. Look, once it went 15% below, that even though it went back above, that was a bad sign, right? So we know that 15% below was a bad sign. We can look over here and see these ones to see, hey, it came up short. So, right, a little bit short. Like, what if instead of this being 200 weeks, what if it's 208? I don't even know. That's silly. All right, not 208. But what we could see, I figured, I thought maybe it would move it down. But what we see here is we see that it actually is several percentages below this side, right? So it's about 2.56%. It's about 1.63%. About 3.89%. And how far to this direction do we go? About 4%. So probably getting more than 4%. Maybe, if you want to give it a little lee room, maybe more than 5% down below there would probably start getting pretty concerning on this idea, right? That's where it would be like, okay, 200 week isn't holding. We don't have examples of that when it's being a support. Every time we go back and look, the one time where we did cross it significantly more than 4% was this time right in here. And that was a bad sign. So otherwise, crossing 2%, 3%, staying below it by 1, 2, 3, 4% was normal. If we get to 5% below the 200-week moving average, then we need to start kind of talking about. But as of right now, absolutely nothing abnormal. We're just looking for a support to come in here. And then what we have in here is we have the crashing structure. That would be your wave 7 happening in here. The thing about wave 7s is we can have dips a little bit lower like this before they start moving their way up. An example of that is Bitcoin in multiple cases. Bitcoin, when it reached its bottom in 2018, so you can see how these things work. Right. That would be this moment. Here would be like what we saw happen in XRP yesterday. Then there's the one more dip. Another example would be just like how we used that at the peak of Bitcoin back in 2021. Right. This is like what we've had for XRP for the last couple of weeks. Whoop. That's like what happened yesterday. This is us today. And it's like there being one more dip happening in here. So that's what we're talking about here. That could be the case here for XRP. Now, when we look back to XRP's behavior in crashing structures, there's one right there, right? See this one right here? Wham. And then, but if we go back and we look at like the biggest one of all time, we don't, right? So we'll fire back up and then hold true. But again, nothing significant to break out quickly right afterwards. But these are my thoughts. So this is why I'm taking the stab. That's where I think we are in XRP's price chart currently right now with the action that we have. After a 1 year and 2 month range, we're back to back testing the top of that range. And I see a completed crashing structure happening in here currently right now. So hot diggity. All right. Anything else to talk about on the charts? Just that the Dow is in a swift move to the upside this morning after being down during futures, really firing up here once the market is now getting going. And the leader of the day is Coinbase. And I'm curious, that's likely off of the news of the Coinbase Bitcoin and Ethereum futures. So we have the Dow up 158 points. We have the S&P up 8 points. And we have the NASDAQ nearly flat at up 0.03%. You've got metals slightly up this morning. DXY is turning back down a little bit. Let's take a look at that. In the opening of the market. So this is the stock market opening right here. Move down. Gold. Look at you on a small time frame. Nothing really to run home and tell mom about at this point. Still trending. But at a fib level. So, okay. I still have you in first. Okay, forgot to do this. 20 minutes into this thing. Follow me over here on Twitter at BCBacker. This is the only social media that I do use. You can follow me here on, x.com. It's going to take a long time to do this. And how to not sound choosy. X.com. BCBacker. It's the only social media that I do use. I do not actively DM people. You will notice there are scammers all over Twitter, all over other social media sites that are commenting and talking about lucrative opportunities and pictures of Brad Garlinghouse and all that stuff. That is not me. Those are impersonating scammers. There's nothing I can do. It's completely out of my control. They also block me, so I can't even see them doing any of that stuff. So I'm not commenting and replying to people in the comments of Twitter or Instagram or anything like that. Don't go following anybody on Instagram. This is my social media, BCBacker over here on x.com. Check out, of course, bcbacker.com where you can get more educational content from me, over 40 videos and 11 hours of video content with downloadable PDFs in here for you and links to additional resources for learning. All right. Little bit of a bounce there for, so this is pretty nice that we're having a move up in the stock market right at the opening when we're having this happening over here in the crypto market. So a good time for something like that to show up in here currently right now. But there we go. Let's go ahead and dive into the news. S&P 500 futures slide as investors anticipate Fed update. Did we get a Fed update? Let me go check. No, not that I see. Okay. Okay. But this is obviously pre-market. Of course, this is just the narrative and news they have to write pre-market, only for them that to happen. So now what are we doing? Are we still waiting on the Fed? Are we still waiting? Target slashes full year forecast as retailer struggles to win over thrifty shoppers. UK launches $1 billion. Dude, I can't wait for thrifty shopping again, because that's what I am. I'm so cheap. You guys hear me talk about it. I do not go around wearing a bunch of fancy stuff. I thoroughly enjoy my $6 t-shirts from Target, which, by the way, they raised the price to $8. How dare they? That's not okay. Now I have to wait till Black Friday when they're buy two, get one free. All right, UK launches $1 billion fintech fund to compete with Silicon Valley. Cool story, bro. Goldman Sachs CEO, most loyal deputy, is tested by mutinous partners. Okay. China asked some funds to avoid selling stocks as their market sinks. See, I guess China's in a little bit of turmoil over there. I need to look into that more. I noticed that coming up yesterday and people talking about it this morning. So... Visa faces Department of Justice scrutiny for how it prices token technology. Coinbase wins approval to sell futures. Brookfield. Okay. Let's get to the good stuff. SEC versus Ripple. Judge greenlights investment banker declarant's entry. That's not important. Bitcoin speculators now own the least amount of Bitcoin. Must be on-chain data. SEC delays set deadlines for Bitcoin ETF approvals to early 2024. Let's take a look and see if any of this is true. The United States Securities and Exchange Commission, the financial regulator with the final say over allowing a spot cryptocurrency ETF, may be moving closer to giving the investment vehicle the green light after several years of applications. In June, the world's largest asset management firm BlackRock added its application to the bundle of Bitcoin ETF filings currently being reviewed by the SEC, creating renewed interest among investors in and out of the crypto space. The company later added a surveillance sharing agreement with cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase following reports the SEC could be more open to accepting an ETF application under such conditions. Man, this reads like it was written by AI. BlackRock is one of the many firms with crypto ETF applications in the SEC pipeline. ARK Invest, under CEO Kathy Wood, filed to list its ARK 21. Okay. I'm trying to find anything important in here. Sorry, they took too long getting to the point. Coinbase can now list crypto futures in the U.S. Bitcoin fiat as Argentinian peso. Oh, man, you're going to make me watch a video. Sorry, it's not going to happen. Okay. All right, there we go. That's the big one. Coinbase to have futures to give the ability to short. And it says for retail investors as well to be able to do that. So, all right, that's where we're at. XRP. The big one, we'll have a video coming out about that one, but we've covered it pretty in depth. So if you're just tuning in here looking for that, go back through this live stream. We're at 25 minutes into this thing. We've done a pretty decent, okay job going through it. So let's go ahead and jump into the chat here really quick. Andrew Handelsman, new member, welcome. Sila says there's an article on You Today that they wrote about you. Right on. Who owns You Today? Is that like Alex Cobb? No, by Yuri Molkin, Ripple affiliated XRP token has for the first time outperformed other altcoins on the cryptocurrency market. Hey, look at that. They got BCB on there. According to another tweet, the analyst now holds more XRP. Oh, here we go. This thing is just, this page is littered with advertisements. So I'm not going to pull it up on the screen. Here you go. I'll post the link in the stream. There you go. Major crypto analyst Blockchain Backer has posted a tweet telling his 280,600 followers that the XRP token, favored by many, is currently outperforming the rest of the altcoin market. XRP has surpassed the 200-week moving average versus the whole altcoin market. BC Backer analyst ironically tweeted that the crypto market is now measured not in US dollars, but in XRP instead. What? Oh my gosh. BC Backer analyst ironically tweeted that the crypto market is now measured not in US dollars, but in XRP instead. Okay, buddy. Let's not forget, he starts this article by Ripple affiliated XRP token. All right, this is going to be good. He also added that currently, despite the aforementioned news, XRP is in a pullback that has been lasting a week so far and may last longer. XRP has been in decline since August 9th and has since lost 9.13%, now changing hands at 59.9 cents. Today, XRP faced another fall in price, dropping more than 4% and reaching the aforementioned price level. According to another tweet, the analyst now holds more XRP than Ethereum or Bitcoin. XRP is the number one holding. As for the two leading cryptos, BC Backer tweeted they are more bullish on Ethereum than on Bitcoin. I guess I'm a they. I want you all to refer to me as a they. All right, he stated, I can see a potential path, but then I'm a he? Okay. He stated, I can see a potential path forward with Ethereum rather than with Bitcoin. So if it is any, likely not to be a big percentage as Bitcoin. XRP saw a price surge recently after the SEC partly lost its case against Ripple in court. XRP saw a price surge recently after the SEC partly lost its case in Ripple in court. Judge Annalisa Torres ruled that Ripple's programmatic sales and sales on exchanges to retail investors do not qualify as securities. However, the judges state that the company's XRP sales to institutional investors were security sales. Still, Ripple Labs eyes this as a major victory, even though the SEC is now appealing this ruling. This Yuri guy, this is pretty biased. I got it. He's covering me and all, but you can see how he starts it. Ripple's token, and then ends it with, Ripple lost quite a bit, and that the judge is now that the SEC is appealing, leaving out the part. The only thing that matters to retail investors is that XRP is not a security, and it's the only one that's not a security in the cryptocurrency market. The only one. But we got to leave that out. You know what I mean? We got to leave that out. BC Backer, they, he. Hey. Okay. All right. Thank you, Sela. Pat, thank you very much. Gives 20. Thank you, brother. Hodling Nate says, hey, BCB, longtime viewer. I've never heard tour conviction this high on anything. Never thought I'd hear you say you'd let go of ETH and Bitcoin for XRP. Yeah, well, I'm very on the fence about Ethereum. That's a much bigger challenge for me. But for Bitcoin, it's no matter what. I mean, I'm back to my original, only 35% I had remaining, no matter what, by the time we get to 51. Or not, I don't even know if it's 51. What is it? There, right? And so the question is, does it even get that high? And my argument's always been retrace. You got plenty of people out there who say it's going to start a whole new 4-year cycle. It's going to go off into a new bull run. I talk about stock market. I talk about retracements. I don't see any reason for me to sit here and waste a whole lot of time trying to chase one more move with Bitcoin when I've got the things that I want over there on XRP. Much more challenging there for Ethereum because I can build a better case for Ethereum. It's very difficult for me to build a case for Bitcoin to go shooting off into anything meaningful. Even if you were to go full all the way there, 80% to go all the way to the 702 retracement, is it going to do that? We've gotten up more than 80% off the lows. So, what you have is everybody who sold the bottom who was looking for 10 to 12K. Then if you remember, we got back here And what happened? Retail investors still thought it was going to turn over and roll down, right? And so then when it rolls over and turns down, when the banking crisis starts, what happens? They capitulate in here, right? They're like, dang it, I knew not to touch this thing. And then it shot right back up and they bought back in here. So most retail investors, like really, most the 12Kers, this is their buy price. And there's the potential they bought here and they sold here. So they actually took like a negative 15% loss here, and then they bought up here. So they wrote it down. They sold here. Haha, I've got this nailed. I'm good. Oh no, I better buy back because now I'm upside down. Oops, now I'm upside down again. Let me sell. Boom. And I guarantee there's somebody watching me right now who says that is exactly what happened to me. And it's because we all go through it. That's the learning process of going through this stuff. Anyway, like we've talked about, if this is the Ethereum case, right? If this is the super gloom and doom scenario for Bitcoin where it's not going to go into a new all-time high, well, I don't think people are like listening to me. If I don't think we're going into a new all-time high, what does that mean? Does that just mean we go here and then just go flat for 5 years? No, no, it's bam, it's down, right? That's if the stock market turns over and goes to Doomtown. So Bitcoin, there's just not much to chase for me. So I'm okay. I feel literally zero emotion letting go of 20% of my Bitcoin. Zero. If I let go of 10% of my Ethereum, I actually might feel something with that. So it's, you said, I've never thought I'd hear you say you'd let go of ETH and Bitcoin for XRP. Bitcoin, no problem. And again, I still have my original 35%, right? So I accumulated Bitcoin all throughout here. For the new people who came in at the top, I was one of the most hated people that there were because I predicted this the whole time and then I executed it. I sold 65% of my Bitcoin between $45,000 to $58,000, leaving 35% remaining. Still just held on to that, been holding on to that 35% ever since. As we got down here in the FTX collapse, if you guys remember, for those who did tune in, watch, a lot of people did disappear during that time, but then now there's been a little bit of a resurgence. I took a shot at Bitcoin right here at like 19,000, said if we broke the lows, I'm out. So I took a shot here, got stopped out here, then went all in here. And then we've ridden all the way back up. So this is all Bitcoin that was accumulated after the FTX collapse. That 35% will remain untouchable. That 35% will go to $2,000 if it has to. But any Bitcoin accumulating here, I have no emotion on it. I'd feel nothing. I could let go of all of it and feel absolutely nothing with it. And so, everyone has to find their own way to navigate a market without feeling emotional. I can create too many positive cases for Ethereum that if I sold some of it, I would start feeling some doubts, especially selling it at the current levels right now. But not so much for Bitcoin. Thank you, Hodling Nate. Mark Allaire, I'm putting it into the universe. XRP to $10 by the end of the year. Mark, let's go, bro. Thank you, sir. Pat, again, bro. Thank you, man. Jeez, 20 BCB memberships. If you have green on your name, and that's brand new, that's probably Pat. Everett, new member. Thank you very much. DC, do you see any chance to see XRP below 35? If XRP went below 35 cents, I'd be very concerned. I would have to sit there and stare at this thing for a very long time to say, what do I think is happening? Right? So, if you're going to 35 cents, you're essentially going to have to assume SEC crash happens again, right? That's like this thing. Right, you're essentially assuming we're going to SEC crash because this takes out that level. Remember, this was the 200-day moving average. Let's go back and put that on. Right, so that's very similar to what we did in here, right? We held on top of the 200-day moving average in here. So they'd be like taking out the 200-day moving average and shifting all the way down here again to about 35 cents. What's your bull case, man? You know what I mean? What is your bull case after that? definitely not one in any way. The other thing too with this, like notice how this is a different consolidate, like from a wave count perspective, these waves are on top of each other. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You would essentially have to be saying this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which just wouldn't make any sense. And I do teach Elliott Wave over there on bcbacker.com. One of the most incorrect rules that, where is Elliott Waves? There it is. The rule that I see incorrect all the time. And again, people who like show that they're green behind the ears just when people say wave 4 cannot cross below the plane or above the plane of the end of wave 1. Essentially, the rule is you cannot have 4 cross below 1, right? That's like the rule everybody knows. But it's to have the understanding of the bigger move. And the bigger move is that this is A, B, C. And in an A leg, wave 4 can cross wave 1. And in a C leg, wave 4 can cross wave 1. So there are absolutely circumstances in which you can do it. You can also do it. There's like there's multiple waves you can actually do it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C. You can do it in this wave, this wave, this wave, or this wave, because a Elliott wave is made up of a series of Elliott waves within it. Sorry, we're gonna do this. Right. These are called leading diagonals. So you can have wave 4 cross the plane of wave 1 in the leading diagonal of either the motive wave or the corrective wave. So, when this happens, what are we actually doing? We're doing a big ABC. So in order to come back down in here, we don't have that here, right? So like, if we're talking about, looking at this, right, and being like, hey, you know what? We held on top of that 200-week moving average as well. And so what we did back here is we go firing all the way back down below and hit there. That would be like coming right here. Problem is, how do you wave count that in any type of bullish way? Right? You can't even 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 it to say, well, at least there's going to be, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like you can't count it in here to do the same thing as that particular moment in time. You know what I mean? This is a consolidation. This is a Wyckoff accumulation structure happening in here. So if we took that out, even then, so right, if something like that happened, just yuck. It'd be hard to remain super mega bull on it in that circumstance. So your question is, do you see XRP below 35? Not in a bullish environment, no. Slick Rice, member for 30 months. Bro, what's up? Will you please chart BC Backer Obama Inu Oprah 17 Pepe token? It's on this new DEX I have. Link in bio. Also GM King. Nice. Yeah, I saw XRP, the Standard Productions, come up with one yesterday too. Thank you, brother. 30 months, man. It's a long time. Thank you. 2.5 years. Cryptology says total 3 had a gap up last week. Ben Cowan said they added coins. How could this change? We keep seeing this. And it wasn't last week. It was like a day ago. It was right here. this wacky stuff happening in here. It's like it gets added, then it gets taken away. It's just wacky. And this, we've talked about this. This has continued to happen over here on others all week long. And I believe it's already been taken back. The ad was already removed. Right. So, but this is why it's always important too to be using CoinTrader Pro. So I always teach that. Use CoinTrader Pro as well. Because if one's having a problem, you can always go to the other one. Because CoinTrader Pro is pulling its data from CoinMarketCap. And TradingView is doing their own thing. Right? They're pulling their own calculation. That's why even on the Bitcoin dominance number, the actual percent, you're going to have a different number between the two. Ben 10, grinning face with big eyes, says, "Hey BCB, are you excited about the holidays?" I'm always excited about the holidays, man, but they're very far away. They're very far away. Hey, how about those kids going back to school though? How about that? Oh, so sad. I'm so sad. Yeah, Pat going crazy, my bro. JB Heavy, and thank you, Ben. JB Heavy Equipment Services Inc. says, "Hey, what's going on? Can you even imagine the possibility of XRP becoming the safety trade due to clarity?" Yeah, be the Bitcoiner's nightmare. Retail is willing to FOMO XRP. They are. Don't be fooled. They are willing. Here, yeah, let's take a break really quick because it is the middle of the week, and it's one of the most important days of the week, everybody.
It is Wednesday, my dude. It is Wednesday. Dudes.
There we go. Happy Wednesday, everybody. So there we go. We got XRP sitting right on top of the 200-week moving average versus Bitcoin as we get this day started. Stock market shooting straight up at the opening, now pulling back a little bit. But we got the indexes over there in the green. You got more than half the stocks over there in the green. One thing about yields, though, it's been interesting. I sent a text about this earlier this morning, is that even with the most recent interest rate hike by the Fed, these like 3, 2s, and 1s and 6s, they will not come off of this 5.29%, 5.28, 5.27. I find it so bizarre those have not lifted themselves yet. I haven't heard anybody talking about that. Those ones usually go up a little bit. I don't know. I do enjoy to dabble in some treasuries. But all right, here we go. Oscar Hernandez, my man, super sticker. Thank you so much, brother. Pat again with a tenner. Jeez, man. Like practically nobody's in the gray in the chat. Pat is hooking it up. We had a breakout in the memberships, Oscar says. Yeah, we did. Jeez, we're at 69. Unreal. Life of Shane. BCB, please talk more about ETH thesis to 5. I don't want to go into the whole thing today. It's not a thesis, right? It's just showing super cycles. That's it. I'm not predicting it. You all know that Bitcoin has done 3 super cycles. If you don't know that, if you still think it's 4-year cycles, if you still think Magic Block Reward halving, I'm sorry, like I can't help you at all. It's been super cycles. It's done 4 of them. Even the last one was a copy paste of the previous one. Let's do this. So our most recent 6-year bull run was a duplication of the last one. And this is the 3rd time, guys, the 3rd time Bitcoin has had these types of equally sized super cycles happen within it. And you can even see in the last one. So everybody thinks the 2018 to 2020 bear market was the start of a new cycle. So why did everybody get so wrong-footed at the top looking for 200, 300, $500,000, $1 million, $100,000, right? Even the utmost bullish case of a super cycle didn't take you to $100,000 for Bitcoin. But as you can even see in here, you had a contracting triangle in here in wave 4, even back in 2013. So you could see the contracting triangle, see the initial fall all the way to the lows, a retracement, and then an ABC back down. What do we get? We get a fall to the lows, a retracement, and then an ABC to the lows, almost as if C19 was just magically pre-programmed into the simulation that we all live in, guys, right? So again, I guess that's tinfoil hat. Makes me sound like a nut job. But when you look back at this and you say, this is what the case was, right? Like we can just draw this, right? That's what it was. That was the retracement and then the return back for the reaccumulation. I mean, they're identical, completely identical. The fall takes you to the same location. It's a super cycle. And so we've done 3 of these here with Bitcoin, right? So the thing we've talked about with Ethereum, and we have no clue, literally no clue, if Ethereum does do super cycles at all, right? Concept would be and here you go. This is from my newsletter yesterday. By the way, I did write a newsletter yesterday. You can check it out at blockchainbacker.substack.com. Conceptually, if this is its own super cycle here for Ethereum, all throughout here, what would that make this, right? And so what was very interesting about what happened with Ethereum is, like we just showed with Bitcoin, is that Bitcoin, tell me I didn't delete it. Notice how it perfectly matches, right, for the final phase of a super cycle. 3rd time it's done it. Super cycle. What happens if you take a look at the first leg of Ethereum's past super cycle? It's the same thing, right? So here we are, having done leg 1 of Ethereum's past super cycle. So if Ethereum is doing a repeating super cycle, you could do the math. It's the 5-figure stuff, right? Will it do that? Will it break away from Bitcoin? Will Bitcoin not go on to have its big, massive runs? That's one of the conflicting statements about Ethereum at this point. You know, right? You're being really drawn out in here, but essentially it's like hanging out right in there for just forever, right? For just forever. And will it eventually get the breakout? And if it does, how far is it going to go? Is it going to super cycle? Again, Ethereum has the most developers. It also has a deflationary tokenomics. Deflationary. The supply is down. It does not print new supply. I mean, it technically can if nobody's using the chain, but it's been deflationary since inception, that it switched. And that's the idea. It's just if Ethereum is doing a super cycle. And the only reason it even gets brought up is due to what this move was. It was the same move as it did last time. And you could see the corrections in here. First initial profit take, the failure, the correction, the first initial profit take, the failure. And then here you go, right? So is it going to go on for a continuation of a super cycle? We'll all find out. But that's the concept and idea. But thank you, Life of Shane. Pat, again, with 5. And Pat, I'm probably like 4 times behind at this point on how many times you've done it. Hey, BCB, can you check Sushi USD? Thanks. I don't follow this at all. Sushi is a DEX, right? I don't know. I don't follow this. Weak. Sushi had a big problem, didn't it? Not just pertaining to charts. There was something bad with Sushi, right? Did Sushi get labeled as a security way early by the SEC? I can't remember. There was something that happened with Sushi specifically. Yeah, I don't know. It looks very weak. The sub badge needs more zigzags. Yeah, I keep forgetting to do that. Hey, P2W, if you're in the chat, we need to do that today. Thank you. Yeah, Mark, I don't know. It looks weak, brother. I don't know. Does anybody use Sushi? I don't know. Andy Philpott with 10, brother. Thank you, man. 10 BCB memberships. Thank you, dude. Oscar gives 1 too. Thank you, Oscar. Pat gives 1. Thank you, man. Jaxer. Frog scale up, log scale down. Only shows green candles. Frog scale up is better than log scale down. Only shows green candles. Huh. Okay. Thank you, Jaxer. Mex Media. Hey, BCB. Normally XRP is a laggard. Do you think it'll be one of the first to go with its current setups? Also, thoughts on the rest of the altcoin market. The altcoin market is still just teetering along in here, right? Let's see. Which one are you? Right in here, right? Got all this crud on here. My thoughts are altcoin market eventually does this, right? Wyckoff accumulation. Literally nothing changes about the discussion on Wyckoff accumulation. We've just seen a couple of them already get out. We've seen Bitcoin Cash. We've seen XRP. We've recently seen XDC. We've seen several of them start to do it. Just waiting for the whole broader market to move. It's probably going to be when Ethereum can do it. But what does this look like? It looks like a last point of support phase in here. But the thing is about getting back up into the retracements. That's going to be a big watching point right now. I know everybody's going to want to hear that's where we're going. I can't commit to that right now. But I can say, like, this area, it seems so probable to me. We head there. And to watch who does great, who doesn't do great in that moment. Do we have warning signs coming from the stock market at the same time? Do you have the Dow Jones hitting a 4.236 extension? Do you have the Dow Jones starting to crash? Is there any other warning sign happening throughout the rest of the market at that point? Right now, no. Where is the Dow right now? The Dow is right here, right? So there's some catching up to happen in the market, and I think we will get it. But to get beyond that level, if Ethereum's going to do something crazy, there just has to be something different that's happening in this market that I don't see yet. But I think that we, at a minimum, move our way back into retracement levels in here. And then it's after that, where do we head from there? That's going to be the bigger challenge at that point. But we're just waiting our turn. And we got the stock market already pretty high. But just like you saw with XRP, XDC, Bitcoin Cash, several of these coins starting to move back up to the upper bounds of their range. I think we'll see these get there too. Just a waiting game. As for XRP as the laggard, so that's a timing question, right? Of the order of operations. I would hope not. I think we would all hope not. Have we seen it happen multiple times before? Yes. So is it possible? Sure. But the difference is this. This is different than each other time, right? So we've never had it before where XRP can take out the 200-week moving average versus the altcoin market. That is new. So that could change things. Yeah, sure. As a new member. Thank you, man. We're at 71 for today. That's insane, guys. All right. That's where we're at for today, guys. We've got XRP sitting right on top of the 200-week moving average as we get the day going. XRP had gotten back to 58 cents. It's sitting above 59 now. Oh, boy. There come more. Andy Philpott, brother. Thank you with 10. Holy cow. Thank you, dude. I'm in the works on a video for this currently right now. As we talked about earlier in the video, if you want to hear more about that moving average trade, this is not me bringing new US dollars into it. This is me swapping my Bitcoins over to XRP as XRP has broken above the 200-week moving average for the first time in over 4 years. This would be the back test. We talked about it earlier in here. Where would things have to go in order for things to start looking dicey versus Bitcoin? And that would be if it got more than 5% below the 200-week moving average. Multiple times it gets within 4%, but if it went more than 5, that'd be beyond historical norms of things being totally perfectly normal. That's where you'd start to say, yeah, it's a little bit further than it should be. So start considering invalidations there if we get more than 5% below the 200-week moving average. As of right now, we're just fine. We're sitting right on top of it still currently right now. As for Bitcoin, sitting just shy of $29,100 at $29,094. Dow Jones up this morning. All indexes are up. Dow Jones is up 110 points, which is 0.32%. The S&P is up 0.14%, and the Nasdaq is 0.07%. The leader of the day today is Coinbase, coming off of futures trading opening up at some point there for retail investors to be able to long and short up to 4x leverage on Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that's going to be very, very interesting that is going to be opened, because not that I'm interested in doing it right now, and I haven't played with any leverage in the crypto market before. But if we're right at some point that the United States stock market bubble is going to pop, how do you play it, right? Be an interesting way to hedge. So we'll see. Pat, thank you. Cash me. You guys are killing it. Thank you, guys. We're at 92. That's insane. I think there's only been 2 other times we've crossed 100 ever. Thank you very much. Cash me outside and Pat. And then Oscar says, hey, let's go, and hit the like button. And don't forget to check out the merch. Yeah, I always forget the merch store now, right? Wife is going to kill me. There you go. There's the merch link. Typed into the chat right now. Is there a way to pin that stuff? Pin message. Hey, look at that. That's the first time I've ever pinned anything in a live stream before. Hey, BCB, at what price will you start selling some of your XRP? Well, the plan is into all-time highs and to watch and see what's happening in all markets at that time. Like right now, if it's like right now, it'd be like, well, anything above like $7. But we'll have to watch and see how things are going when we get closer. But before, like, as we get to $10, I will be 65% out of my XRP. I'll have new people screaming at me. I'm an idiot. You don't know what you're doing. Don't you understand? $10,000. But, you know, it is what it is. But as of right now, I'm not even thinking about that till all-time highs. Unless something drastically changes in the market. Sick Thinker. Brother, thank you. 5, dude, thank you. Pat, 10. Thank you, Pat. Keith, new member. And I, in case I missed it, I don't think I missed it. Crypt Keeper was a new member. Thank you very much. And then Oscar Gifts 1. And like I said, Keith, new one. There you go, guys. 109 today. Crazy. Crazy. Yes, Pat, we are. Thank you, sir. Chat is popping, man. All right, guys, look at that. Oh, we got all the new guys coming out of the woodworks. Like, hey, I'm here. All right, cool. All right, so there we go, guys. We're sitting just above $29,000, $29,092 over there for Bitcoin. XRP sitting right on top of the 200-week moving average in there currently right now, just right on top of it, as you can see right there. And then, this guy right here that we've been watching, we talked about it, shooting back up to the upside here. We're getting really close now. As you can see in our examples, this is really our kind of resistance level coming in here. As we're getting right to it right now. I personally went ahead and swapped 20% of my Bitcoin over to XRP. Do not follow me blindly, but hey, this is the move I'm making, and I ain't scared to put it out there in the open that I'm doing it. So I don't need to hedge my words. I don't need to say up, down, left, right. Anything could happen. You know what I've done. 20% of my Bitcoin's in XRP. So there you go. All right, guys. I hope that you no merchandise in Canada. Yeah, it stinks, man. Sorry, guys. It's out of my control. It won't ship internationally. Yeah, it's out of my control. It stinks. But it's gorgeous. We've got quite a bit of them. I like the t-shirts a lot. The coffee mugs are nice. Those are well made. I like those. I ordered a sticker, but I need to ask my wife if it's come in because I haven't seen it. But we got sweaters. The sweaters are good. We got the leggings, and I pulled the leggings off the store. The white ones, at least. I think we pulled all of them off of there. And it's not that they're broken or anything or of poor quality. It's that they are very see-through. And while it is very cool that my wife has a pair of these, I don't know if that'll meet the expectations of a lot of other people if they're ordering those. And you see everything. So I went ahead and pulled it off. Baby Oscar Hernandez says, "Happy Milky Day. Bitcoin down. What XRP do, baby, please?" Well, hopefully it just holds, right? It's gotten back to the 58-cent level, so hopefully it just holds that thing. We'll keep an eye on it. But really, let's see, do I even have like XRP in itself up here anymore? We'll just do this. We'll do XRP USD. This is your whole support range, right? Technically speaking, it goes a little deeper. It goes all the way down there to 54. But we're already in it. And structurally, my thoughts are that's it. And we've already completed it. And so if you need to see more on this, we've gone through it all. I'm not going to go through this all over again in this video. All these drawings are from this live stream that we've been doing right in here. So rewatch it, and we cover all. I knew this was going to be the stuff people wanted to talk about, so it's all covered there in the beginning of the video before I even started addressing the chat. So go rewatch the live stream to see all this stuff. Crashing structure, 5-way, right? So what was the thing that in the crashing structure and why it was hesitation to say it's definitely the bottom, right? We knew we had the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but what did we have? This came up high, right? So it was kind of like, but this is like your classic drift before things kerplunk. Let's do this. I'm going to put it on a smaller time frame. Right. So we've got it. But baby Oscar Hernandez, thank you. Andrew Handelsman gifts 1 PCB membership. Thank you. That puts us at 110. Baby Oscar Hernandez, Google Gaga. Thank you. Thank you, Baby Oscar. All right, guys. Yeah, we're at 987 likes. All right. So at 1,000, what do we do? Here, let's unpin this message. And we start a poll. Wednesday, my dudes, speed. Chapped 0.75x. Rave 1.5x. This will be good for me to know which one, like, you guys can all like say what you want in the chat, but I don't really know which one you guys like more. $68 votes. Rave is favorited, guys. The faster, the better, yeah. I'd rather a 10x speed because it's stupid. Thanks, Danny. You're a winner. $1.5x. All right, let's do it. How do we do it? We go here, here.
It is Wednesday, my
And a second time for Danny.
It is Wednesday, my
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Say it loud so Danny can hear it in the back as he sits there, angry at the world. All right, ending the poll. So there you go, guys. Now we all know. They like raves. Yeah, I see Oscar once chopped. Jim Marshall says, hey, BCB, what happens to the crypto market when the stock market eventually goes into a decade-long bear? That is the $1 million question, Jim. It's the $1 million question. And that's what we always say on this channel. There's no historical precedent set. Right? Will things even remain the same where Bitcoin matters in the crypto market? Has this market ventured in such a wild breadth of what the technology of crypto and blockchain is and can do, and it's no longer just, hey, we got magic internet money that's a store of value that harnesses unicorns and volcanoes that governments are going to use to fight against the devaluation of the dollar. And yeah, and if it's not that, right, and it's decentralized, right, about creating decentralized assets, right, what if it moves on to something different? But if you assumed, right, if you assumed it only stayed the way it was, and that there's a deleveraging event that happens throughout all markets, all together, you'd probably think crypto would be impacted by that. The fortunate thing is we've already pulled back, but still at the same time, I keep presenting that case over and over again with the Dow Jones Industrial Average. If it hits a 4.236 extension, how people could possibly think Bitcoin's going to surge into a 4-year cycle somehow with the Dow Jones popping. There's no historical precedent for that. Just none. So I would suspect a struggle, but it'd be interesting to see, will the dynamic change of this market. Maybe this market goes through a real thorough cleanse where a lot of the BS does wash away. But yeah, right. If your base case is, like, seriously, anybody out there, dear God, please, if your base case is stock market crashes and that's bullish for crypto, Oh my gosh, please, please start opening charts. Please start looking at the history of the crypto market. Stop watching YouTube influencers telling you that that's going to happen. Go look at the historical data. You don't have that precedent set. It would likely be a mix of a bunch of chaos. Likely. Andy with 10, brother. Thank you very much. We're at 120. Oscar Hernandez likes the chopped. Uh, Big Shroom says, your last video was awesome. Love your content, hombre. Thank you very much. Which was my last one? Was that the dominance discussion? The safety trade, right? The relationship with dominance. Yeah, totally. Yeah, everybody does anybody realize that dominance peaked in June? Dominance peaked in June. Yeah, but you can watch the video I put out on Monday. Fortunately, we are going to get a video today. I was just ridiculously busy yesterday. And then in the mid-afternoon, all this crazy cool stuff starts happening in the middle of the day. So I was over on Twitter. Thank you, Big Shroom. Joker's Performance says, is it your understanding, as it is to me, that when the DXY forms a bottom, that is when Bitcoin seems to run up in price? Thanks, BCB. Is this because the market is feeling comfortable to spend money? I don't know if it's comfortable to spend money. It's more that the market seems to be comfortable to spend money when the DXY is hitting the bottom, but more importantly, when the stock market is breaking out into new all-time highs. The correlation of the Dow Jones, right? And the Dow Jones specifically, that's the one we always use in the examples because that's the one the correlation happens with, is with the Dow Jones Industrial Average. The thing you can always do is, it's not about my understanding. It's that you can overlay these yourself and you can go look at the timings of when these things have all occurred, right? So in 2016 and 17, really in 2017, as it fell, prices were really rising the whole time. That wasn't necessarily the case over here in 2020. As you know, we come off of C19. And then it rises a little bit here, but it's no higher than it was back here in June of 2019, right? So falling, but we're still here. The real rise of Bitcoin happens down here in this whole bottoming area of the DXY, right? So then right here, it's like confirming reversal. And then what does it do? It reverses from right here, right? But this whole process was still the area all of it occurred at. So that's really the examples of DXY references that we have to go back on. And so it's not exactly consistent. It's that it was actually during the whole fall of 2017. It was not during the whole fall of 2018. And Bitcoin didn't really even break out. Come on, get better on the screen. There we go. Till right here did it get moving. And until right here did it break out of the all-time high. Look at this. We are already at the bottom of the DXY when Bitcoin finally breaks from its all-time high over here. I'll put a little line on this. There's the high of Bitcoin. Here's the breakout. Look at where the DXY is in relation to all of that. It's already at the bottom, right? So a little bit, and I've brought this up to I think I've made a video in here or on bcbacker.com in the past, not in the recent course, but maybe in a market update or something, or here on the YouTube channel, that there's been a delay. You can just clearly see it, right? So it's not about your understanding. You can just see that there's a difference, right? The whole time Bitcoin's rampaging. The whole time Bitcoin's not rampaging. It happens delayed here at the bottom. So using them as saying, if this, then that, becomes a whole lot more difficult with the DXY because there was a change of the dynamic of the DXY in 2020 and 2021. So, what we do see is at the bottom, and look at this one. Bitcoin peaks and falls into the final leg of the DXY, right? So finding a perfect relationship between the two has gotten exceptionally difficult to do. Because this one, it peaks before the bottom. This one, it takes off after the bottom's already in, right? And it doesn't take off until way late into the fall. So it's more challenging to use it as an if-then statement because of the inconsistencies with it. But thank you, Jokers. Chris Perez, can Bitcoin be doing an expanded flat like Ethereum? So we've made videos on this. Go find the Ethereum video. Then I think it's like the next day. There's one made there for Bitcoin. Technically speaking, it could. But the other requirements that Bitcoin has necessary, is to have the stock market go into a raging bull run. So if you want me to ever get on the page of Bitcoin new all-time high, we have to see at least break out into new all-time high for Dow Jones. But the thing is too, with breakout of new all-time high in Dow Jones, the thing that I'm going to be worried about after the breakout into the new all-time high, if it happens, is that this was distribution. We've probably covered this in 30,000 dozen videos. Getting above the 3.618, the first initial profit take, and even if it does break into new all-time high, is this just like Bitcoin? Is this just like Ethereum back in 2021? That this is the final leg of distribution. Good night. Nobody likes to think that's possible. It's much easier to just be bull, 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 bull. But that's going to be the challenge, right? So the question is, does it seem like Bitcoin could be doing an expanded flat, right? An expanded flat goes into new all-time highs. Well, the necessary requirement is Dow Jones new all-time high for every Bitcoin all-time high after multiple years of being below its previous all-time high. Every requirement has been new all-time high for Dow Jones. So if we get the new all-time high for Dow Jones, then we can at least open the door to say, hey, that condition has been met. Now, let's review what's going on from here. As long as that condition's not even met, I can't even have that particular discussion. You know what I mean? Because the condition just isn't met. The if-then statement is not met. But if we do go into new all-time high, it'd be checking to see, does Bitcoin get all the way up there, right? So I don't know. What a lot of people don't realize too is that I was here through all of 2017, 2018, 2019. I was making YouTube videos on here in 2019. I was making videos through C19. You can go find my videos, go watch them from April of 2020 when S was hitting the fan. And in the heat of the moment, hey guys, this is what we call the crash retreat, or this is what we call the double tap on top of the all-time high with a bull flag, a breakout, short squeeze, back test, V bottom. That's what we call this, guys. And being like, all right, guys, what this is this is called a crash retrace reaccumulation, and it's totally normal. And we're going to $70,000, right? Blockchain backer, don't you know anything? Don't you know anything? We have 25% unemployment. People are getting stimulus checks. Nobody's working. We're all worried if we can even get hand sanitizer. I'm going to the bathroom with leaves. And you're sitting here saying we're going to 70,000. We had the structure for it. We had that for it. But the challenge is, what structure do we have for Moon from here? I don't see it. I just don't see it. But I had it through all of here and made videos and dealt with the backlash. the trolls or the people who are highly emotional in this market, if you think you're telling me anything I haven't heard before, I'm sorry. I've heard it a million times. Thumbs down the videos. It gives me engagement. Subscribe to my channel and have notifications on to thumbs down within the first 10 seconds. I see you guys. You're giving me engagement. Go for it. Keep it up. I've been through all of this before, and still knowing to fight against the herd that we are going to go higher. It's just much more difficult to see it happening in here. And the concern comes on happening with Ethereum as well. Something we've talked about for years. I went digging through all of my stuff to find it. That, I even found one from April of 2022, as Bitcoin is still sitting in here in April. It's still sitting at like $40,000. We're talking about this stuff here with Ethereum. So I just, what we see different between like Ethereum currently, and this is Ethereum 2017, 2018. What we see different like with Ethereum now in 2023, and what we see different with Bitcoin here in 2023 is Bitcoin's really mimicking being like in this phase in here of before it goes and just rolls all the way over and heads all the way down. And people on Twitter were proclaiming that I was engagement farming with my tweet. If you think I'm engagement farm, I've dealt with saying that narrative for years now. Something nobody ever wants to hear. It's not engagement farming. I've done it when it was not cool to do it, and when there's no literally no benefit to my channel to bring that up, because all it does is stress people out. All it does is propose questions and worry and concern. But it gets brought up because of the reality of it. And in Bitcoin, this is like currently what I see. This is currently what I see over here in Bitcoin, that we're working on a retracement, which is a thing I've talked about all of 2022. BCB, we're never going into a retracement. We're going to 10 to 12K. You're the worst human being in the whole world. Now they all bought back into Bitcoin, right? They all bought back in at $30,000. And so now you start saying, okay, well, this is the thing we've talked about for the last year and a half, 2 years. They're like, wait, what? No, you're engagement farming. No, you're in denial, sir. But you don't have this with Ethereum. Like, you have a different setup in Ethereum. I think that's the point I'm trying to say. With Bitcoin, it's hard to see. It's really hard for me to come up with the moon mission idea for Bitcoin. Seeing this, and to say what the class of 2021, the Laser Eyes crew, don't know is that I was here, and there's the receipts, guys. There's all the YouTube videos. There's the receipts to go back and look at to see that I was here and bullish on crypto during the thick of the chaos of C19. You'll see all the videos. You'll see Cardano at 2 cents. You'll see Ethereum at $150 or whatever it is, $100. And then going through that epic ride up, and then they all come pouring back in. But I know how to dig in when the moments are scary and when prices are down, and to look forward and say, here, like, I understand the narrative is really bad right now, but structurally in a setup that we have, it looks real optimistic for us to keep going. Again, go check the receipts, go check the YouTube videos to see that all that exists from that time period in here and in here. And how many people thought this was rolling over and heading back down again. It was a constant fight to remain bullish in here to get us out, right? I pray that that's what happens. I pray that's what happens. Like, I will benefit way more from prices skyrocketing to the upside. Not only just, YouTube, whatever it is, my portfolio will benefit way more. It's not like I'm like, if I sell stuff and I just sit there in cash, it's like whatever. Even if I sell stuff and I hold 35% of it and it skyrockets to the moon with the 35%, that's way better than it going down. Because that just means the 65% that I sold just sits in cash and my other 35% plunges. So am I a cheerleader for prices to go up? Definitely a cheerleader for it. I don't have a clear sight on it to see that it will, though. At least not for Bitcoin. And like we showed with super cycles, I can see a potential path for Ethereum. With XRP, I can see a potential path for XRP. So I can remain optimistic on those. But the problem is those do have contradictory viewpoints on them, right? Either those things have to all happen in a brief moment of time. For like Bitcoin, they're like everything goes absolutely nuts in here, or some type of market dynamic has to shift. And I don't think we have all the answers to that right now. And I think an example of not having all the answers to that right now has been how the whole ride up in the stock market, you've watched everybody try to make sense of it. Everybody pulling out every economic data point that they can, pointing to the Fed, everything they can to make some kind of sense of the rise of the stock market and how the Dow Jones and how the S&Ps can roll all the way back up and get all the way up here and higher. And you're trying to make sense out of noise, where there's a lot of noise and you're trying to make sense of it. And a lot of times the clarity doesn't come until you get to the reversal point, and we're just kind of in the midst of the noise all happening at once until we finally get there. And then some narrative will happen at the top, like everybody buy $30 worth of Bitcoin to support El Salvador at the 702 retracement, right? Or, Elon Musk fudding, or Elon Musk going on Saturday Night Live at a 702 retracement level, or FTX collapsing at the bottom, right? Like where you get like something clear to happen. And a lot of times we try to make sense in a lot of the noise along the way, and it can be more difficult to do so. So I don't have that yet. Like something that would make it clear as day to me. We get this fire up here. We get to like 38K. And then like the SEC approves 8 Bitcoin ETFs. That'd be it. Clear as day. Doomtown incoming. The opposite of what retail investors would think, right? Just like how retail investors, FTX collapse, that marks the bottom. To them, that's just the beginning, right? But ETFs all get approved by the SEC. Watch out, right? Why are you getting lured in right now is the point I'm making. So, all right, we got to keep moving. I'm way too deep into this. We're an hour, 27 minutes. I still have a video I've got to put out. Ugh. All right, Crypto Crandall, member for 2 months. Thank you. Yo, BCB, you rock, man. The community is the best. Thanks for the gifted, Pat. Pat must have been hooked up by Pat. Thank you, Crypto Crandall. Baba Masha DMV gifted 5. Dude, thank you. First time I've seen your name come across for that, man. Thank you. Or ma'am. I guess ma'am. Man. Now I'm going with man. Ben 10. What price target would you have for XLM if it were to do a full Fibonacci extension? Well, you could do that yourself. Just do it with the market cap, right? Because I think Stellar Lumens has okay inflationary tokenomics. I haven't looked at it in a while. I need to pull up my spreadsheet. We have been so busy in this market with XRP. I have not had time to go looking through all my tokenomic stuff and all my developer data stuff. I need to get on that, but it's just been so ridiculously busy in here. But you could do that, Ben. I know I've taught you to do it, brother. David, hey BCB, longtime viewer from here in the UK. Wanted to say a massive thank you for the work you put in. Here's $10 to $15 XRP in the near future. Thanks. Thank you, David. Appreciate it, brother. Member for 2 months. Alpha Trader Inc. says see-through could be fun if your logo is placed correctly. I can just imagine beard, glasses, and a cap. Happy Wednesday. Yeah. No, man. I mean, like, really see-through. He's talking about the BCB leggings. Thank you, Alpha. The candlestick trades. Thank you very much. Super chat. First timer. No message, though. Big Shroom, UBCB, are you bullish or bearish on Canada? Dude, the neighbors to the north, man. I get it. You guys got like a lot of political stuff or whatever. I try not to pay attention to that. But on Canada, the country, man, I'm cool with Canada, man. I've been to Canada. I've done northern pike and walleye fishing. Camped out in like a cabin, small cabin with my family once. twice actually. We had to cross the border, and then we had to take a train to go out to this place to camp. And so Canada always has a special place in my heart for sure. So I'm bullish on Canada. Let's go. Okay. Wow. I went an hour and 30 minutes, guys. That's longer than I usually do, especially since I'm still working on a video and not near done. So I'm sure the world is wanting to hear XRP stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up, you guys. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching. If you're wanting to see stuff about the crashing structure, of course, you can check out bcbacker.com. There's a video over there on that, Wyckoff accumulation, all that good stuff. Teach you about charts, setting them up, all that great stuff over here, and about the history of the crypto market. bcbacker.com. How do you do this? Let's see if we can do this. You go www.bcbacker.com. There you go. And then let's see. Since I've learned how to pin. Hey. All right. Let's go ahead and wrap this thing up, you guys. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Man, memberships, that was absolutely crazy. Came in at 125 today. That's nuts. The likes, 1,238 likes on a Wednesday, guys. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm going to see you guys out one more time with the Raver.
It is Wednesday, my
All right, guys, that's going to be it for this one. Happy Wednesday. You're halfway through the week. If you're working for the weekend, guess what? You're halfway there. Tomorrow's Thursday, and on Thursday, you're already saying, hey, you know what? Tomorrow's Friday. And then on Friday, you're like, dude, it's the weekend already. So we're almost there, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Keep an eye out for a video later today as I get that going for XRP. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you could, please like this live stream. Please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice, and I am not a financial advisor, but if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Frank LaCourcy says, do you still see XRP $10 range and not asking when it will happen, but when do you think? I'm not asking when it will happen, but when do you think? I don't know, bro. As for 10, we've gone through that many times with the market cap and tokenomics. Anthony Drew, slap the like if you love Frog Wednesdays. All right, that's it. Have a good one.